Hello everyone, we'll be learning how to make these rubber band bows. In order to do so, start off by taking a small rectangular piece of cloth, fold it over 2 times as such, and then diagonally cut through one side of it on either side. Now once you're done with this, add one on top of the other as such. Put it through a sewing machine as such and then stitch in all of the sides. Do this for all of the sides except for one little portion. Now after this, you may reverse the entire cloth using this one little portion that you have left out. Once you have done this, it should be the right way facing up, and then you may proceed. Stitch the entire portion of it up. You may hand stitch it using a needle and a thread separately. Now once you sew it all together, this is what it should begin to look like. Now take a rubber band to it and then add it right through the center as such. Once you add it right through the center, fold it over multiple times in order to make it look like a bow, and then tie a knot with the top portion of it and then adjust the sides accordingly. This will be the final look of the bow. Adjust the sides as need be as well. Next, we will start off by learning how to make this bag. In order to do so, we will start off by needing some cloth. Take a long rectangular piece of cloth and then take the sides on the top, fold it over as such. To begin with, fold it over horizontally and afterwards, cut out 2 portions of it as such. To begin with, cut out 1 portion and then add multiple cherries onto another portion of cloth. Add the 2 together and then add the blue portion or the grey portion as the layer to the strawberries. Now make the cuts that we have just shown as such. Make small slits in all of the corners. Now once you are done with this, after you are done with making the slits to it, reverse the entire piece of cloth. In this way, the strawberries will come on the outside as such. Take the rest of the cloth and then smoothen it out as such. Add it under a sewing machine and then fill in the gaps as you can see. Continue to do this and then stitch in all of the 4 sides or 5 sides that are present on the secondary bag that has come up. Next, take the piece of cloth and then stitch it towards one side, fold it into half as such. Once you have done this, roll it once more. Do this longitudinally as such where you have marked the line. Fold it over halfways like this and then add it under a sewing machine and then begin to sew it shut as such. Do this only for one of the layers however and not both of them. Next, take the gift wrapping bag, make a square out of it and afterwards begin to stitch all of it together as such. Once you go all the way, this is what it should begin to look like. Once you are done with this, you may also add a handle to it to make it easier to maneuver and take around. Next, you may add your phone to it along with a pair of keys, add some designs to it. We have added a flower in the front. You have also added a little button so that this can be closed as you please. This can be used rather conveniently and for occasions where not many things are desired to be carried. Next, we'll be learning how to make this hat. In order to do so, we will need some cloth to begin with. Now, once we have chosen our cloth according to these dimensions, cut it out. Cut it out in a double fold. Once you have done this, taking the center portion of it, make sure that all of them match the measurements that you have given. Now, after this, fold it and then take some waist cloth that is present, cut it out according to the shape. Add lining to the initial shape that you have created and stitch it all together as you can see. Once you have added one on top of the other as such, this is what it should begin to look like. Now, continue to do the same and then take a small little portion that is circular in nature and then stitch it together. Do the same with the lighter blue shade as well. Now add one on top of the other and stitch the 2 together. Once you cut off the excess, this is what it should begin to look like. Reverse the entire thing. Now stretch it out and then stitch it up under the sewing machine. Keep going in circles and forming multiple layers as we will be making a hat. Now once you have added your many lines to it, it should look all the more like a hat. Once you're done with all of the layers, you may also add a little bit of lace at the bottom as such. Now tie on the cap and then you may make it for different sizes as you please as well. Now, in order to make this bag, start off by taking a pair of jeans and then cut the base of it as such. Now, cut out 2 small squares on either side of it, or rather on either end of it. Now, fold it over and then begin to stitch all of the sides together, flatten out the bottom and then stitch this together as well. Do the same onto the other side as well. This is what it should begin to look like. Now, once you are done with this, you may add lace to the topmost portion of it as such. This will add to the aesthetic appeal of it. Continue to do this until you complete an entire circle. Now, reverse the entire little bag and then afterwards begin to remove the stitches off the top. Add little bear right through the center as such. Once you are done with this is what it should look like. You may use the side as drawstrings. You may also use it to carry small things such as creams and then little lip balms, phones and other such small things. Following the darker shade, you may also make a lighter shade of blue out of this bag and tighten it whenever necessary. Now, we will start off by taking some extra waist cloth and afterwards begin to use it as gloves as such. Measure out the shape of your arms as such. Once you are done tracing out the shape of your palm, then afterwards you may cut it out accordingly. Now, according to the markings that have been made, proceed on and then stitch the 2 together as such. Once you are done sewing the entire piece together, this is what it should begin to look like. Make sure that you distinguish the fingers one from the other as such. Finally, take this piece of cloth and then cut out the excess of it. This way you will only be left with the glove. Next, take a pair of scissors and then make a small strip out of it, that is cut off all of the excess using this pair of scissors. Reverse it and then the original colors should be retained. Next, we will start off by taking this purple top, fold it up into half. Now, add some cotton underneath it as such. Take a green marker and then trace out the shape of your palm. Now once you're done tracing out the shape with the other cloth, begin to draw it on using a marker, and then once you're done with this, add it underneath the sewing machine so that it stays in place wherever necessary. Finally, once you're done with this, take the pair of scissors and then cut it out in the shape of the hand. Next, reverse the entire side, and this is what it should look like. We have added a little bit of fur to the end of it as well. This is not real fur, however. Stitch on this portion using the glove. Finally, make sure that it fits well and tie it out as necessary. Thank you for watching.